Hello, class. Ever wonder why Barry Bonds gained so much muscle mass after his first season of big league ball? This is because he pumped himself full of steroids and human growth hormones. Barry Bonds hit over 700 home runs in his career. He weighed in approximately 180 pounds in the start of his career with the Pittsburgh Pirates. By the end of his career, he weighed over 230 pounds. Steroids are ruining professional baseball. There is a heavy penalty if caught using steroids, from the lines of a 50-game suspension to as far as being kicked out of the Major League Baseball. This speech is about the effect steroids has on the human body and how MLB is cracking down on players who do. We all know what steroids are. They are mainly used for building muscle, not achieved by simply working out. Professional athletes such as Major League Baseball players, professional wrestlers, soccer players, tennis players, and even cyclists such as Lance Armstrong. Steroid abuse is highly dangerous. In 2005, U.S. Times reported that 16% of all professional wrestlers died from use of anabolic steroids. There are some serious side effects using forms of steroids in both men and women. Some of the main side effects of using steroids in men are breast growth, painful erections, decreased testicle size, lowered sperm count, becoming sterile, impotence, becoming bald, and increased chances of prostate cancer. Some side effects in women include face and body hair, deepened voice that can be permanent, abnormal menstrual cycles, decreased breast size, and birth defects. There are also side effects in both men and women. They include acne, baldness, heart attack, stroke, high blood pressure, enlargement of the heart, increased risk of liver cancer, high cholesterol, fits of rage, becoming delusional, moods that swing from one extreme to the other, psychological problems such as depression, being jealous, and feeling invincible, leading to bad decisions. All of these side effects are enough to scare anyone, in my opinion. I feel as if there are too many disadvantages versus advantages, and people will respect athletes a lot more if they do it the right way versus the wrong way. So say no to roids. I played baseball for 18 years and currently employed as a coach and pitching instructor, so I will emphasize steroids in baseball. Simply because I know a lot about it. A few years ago, a report known as the Mitchell Report was issued stating that several well-known players allegedly were using steroids or have used steroids. Not only did it talk about the use of steroids, but it also talks in detail on how and why this problem emerged. Players in the Mitchell Report include Ken Caminiti, Frank Thomas, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, Rafael Palmeiro, Roger Clemens, Alex Rodriguez, and several others. The Mitchell Report wasn't intended to get all these guys in trouble, but it was intended to better professional baseball's future, relying mostly on fairness of competition. If caught for the first time, the player will receive a 50-game suspension. If caught the second time, the player will receive a 100-game suspension, as well as can run them a fine up between $5,000 and $15,000. If caught a third time, the player has a chance of being kicked out of professional baseball. In conclusion, steroids in baseball are at an all-time low. MLB has strictly enforced the no tolerance of steroids. However, there are still players that use steroids, but the percentage of athletes who do are roughly 9 to 11%. Baseball is America's pastime and relies solely on talent achieved at a young age. So therefore, if we can keep steroids at a minimum, it allows MLB to flourish like it has the last 100 years. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Foreman.